Today, we are diving into something that I think is a total game changer for anyone building for the web. We're talking about using the brand new GPT 5.4 model to go way beyond those basic AI-generated websites and start creating truly polished, production-ready front ends. So let's just be real for a second. Have you ever asked an AI to build you a website and what you got back was, I don't know, kind of meh? Like it works, sure, but it just doesn't have that spark, that bit of magic. Yeah, you are definitely not alone. And this slide just nails the difference, right? Over on the left, you've got that generic output we're all tired of. The weak hierarchy, the bland color choices, totally functional, but uninspired. But on the right, that's the goal. That's the delightful design with a clean, intentional layout, super polished interactions, and a look that's just beautiful. So the big question is, how do we get from the left side to the right side? Well, we do it with an incredibly powerful new tool. It's time to meet your new coding partner, GPT 5.4. And believe me, this thing is a huge leap forward. For us front-end folks, the improvements really come down to three major wins. First, its ability to understand images is way, way stronger. Second, it can spit out apps that are much more complete and functional right from the get-go. And third, it is so much better at using tools to actually check its own work. Now, this is where it gets really wild. There's this new core capability called computer use, and it is an absolute game changer. It means the model can literally see the website it's building, it can click on the buttons to test things out, and then it can go back into the code and fix what's broken, all by itself. But okay, even with all this incredible power, there is a catch. If you just give it a vague prompt, you're still going to get something generic. And that's because when it doesn't have enough direction, it just falls back on the most common, boring patterns that it saw over and over again in its training data. And look, this isn't just a theory. OpenAI themselves said it in their blog. When your prompts are underspecified, the results can drift toward generic structure. So, what's the takeaway? We need to stop just prompting and start guiding.
And that is exactly what this is all about. It's a mindset shift, really. It's not about writing the perfect one-shot prompt. It's about steering. With the right techniques, you can guide this model to create the exact, beautiful, and unique designs that you're picturing in your head.
So if you're looking for a quick start, here it is. 4 practical tips. 1. Define your design system, your colors, your fonts, your spacing. 2. Give it something to look at, like a screenshot or a full mood board. 3. Think about the page's story, its narrative. And 4, and I know this one sounds a little weird, start with a low reasoning level. We'll circle back to that, I promise. All right, so with that foundation, let's go deeper. Let's really get into the expert level techniques that unlock those truly polished, intentional designs that we're all chasing after.
Okay, one of the most powerful things you can do is treat your webpage like you're telling a story. Seriously. You guide the AI through the plot. Start with a heroes section. That's your opening line. It makes a promise. Then bring in supporting imagery to set the scene. Follow that with the product details. Explain what you're offering. Then build trust with some social proof. And finally, end with a strong call to action that converts that interest.
All right, let's talk about that counterintuitive reasoning tip again. For most front-end work, cranking the reasoning level all the way up can actually hurt you. Why? Because high reasoning can overthink everything. It gets stuck trying to invent some crazy complex solution when all you need is something simple and elegant. For most websites, low to medium reasoning is faster, it's more focused, and honestly, it just leads to better front-end results. And here are 2 more super simple but crazy effective tips. First, give the model real content to work with, not just lorem ipsum. Real words and headlines shape a design in a way that placeholder text just can't. And second, use a tech stack it knows like the back of its hand. I'm talking React and Tailwind. GPT 5.4 is an absolute wizard with those 2. Okay, so we've got the theory down, we've got the techniques, but what does this actually look like when we put it all together? This is where we stop talking about prompts and start looking at real products. Now, to make all of this even easier, the team at OpenAI released a dedicated front-end skill. The best way to think about it is like a pre-packaged bundle of all these best practices. It tuned the model specifically for building UIs, so you get those delightful designs out of the box with way less effort. And for all you developers watching, you can get it right now. Just pop open the Codex app and run this simple command. It's that easy to get started. So what kind of stuff can you build? Well, with these techniques and that front-end skill, you can just hand it a mood board, a little bit of content, some design tokens, and it will generate absolutely stunning, professional-looking landing pages in just a few minutes. But we're not just talking about static pages here. The model is now so reliable over these long, complex tasks that you can actually build fully playable games. I mean, this is stuff that felt like pure science fiction just a little while ago.
Or what about complex, interactive data dashboards? Yeah, it can do that too. The sheer breadth of what's now possible, it's just incredible. This really is a massive step forward for building software with AI. So, as we wrap up, what's the big secret here? What is the actual key to using this tool to create UI that's genuinely delightful? Well, it really boils down to this. You are the art director. Your job is to provide clear constraints and visual references. You need to structure the page like a story and define that design system. At the end of the day, your role has to change from being just a prompter to being a guide. And all of that leaves us with one last really exciting question. With these incredible new capabilities right at your fingertips, what delightful experience are you going to build first?